Yo, what's going on, comic compadres, and welcome back to the Hoodrat podcast, where I'm Hoodrat, you Hoodrat. What? We all Hoodrats, and we got the Fudget fam here, and I'm representing the Warriors, man. I know it's not a good night for us Warrior fans tonight, man. But you kind of knew Boston was gonna come out gunning, man, at home. It wasn't. I kind of figured that Boston was gonna go up by like 15 in the first quarter.
It's a good finals. It's a good finals.
Yeah. It's really good matchup, man. No one's gonna run away with this sucker, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
for sure.
But we bumped up the show like a half hour, man, because we were watching the game, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm representing with my Dubs, my Dub jersey, man, and then we got Efren in the house, man. What's up, F? How you doing today, man?
Hey, how's it going there? How's it going, everybody?
You're a Dubs fan too, right? You're from San Francisco.
Yeah, man. I've been a Warriors fan since I was a little kid, man. I remember when they won their first championship in San Francisco back in '74 with Rick Barry, man.
That's before I was born, bro. I wasn't even a speck in my dad's eye, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then hold on, let me put this here, man, because I want to everybody follow up Efren, man. If you're watching this now, we're on the rewind. I'm gonna put it over here in the comments. He has his you got your YouTube show too, right?
Yeah, I'm always on YouTube doing my own stuff. We're supposed to be doing a variant video pretty soon too.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing that. I just gotta get you my variant stuff.
Yeah.
Man. And then Paul, man, what's up, Paul? How you doing, man?
We're doing good, man. Thanks for having me.
Hey, Paul.
No, bro, all the time, man. I'm gonna put you up here too.
No, for sure.
Let me see here. I gotta go to my banner, my private chat. I put these all up here so I can just make it super easy. So everybody follow Paul, man. But you're doing some good stuff over on your YouTube too, right? You're doing all the D&D stuff, man.
Yeah, I'm streaming live D&D games with my gaming group. I pretty much I'm doing it on Roll20, and we're playing 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. So yeah, it's just something different. The thing is that we usually play as a group anyways. So I was kind of like, you know what? I got a YouTube channel. Let's stream this shit. Let's see if anyone, wants to watch. But pretty much, the thing is that I've been playing with these guys for over 10 years. And we just have fun together. We just have fun just playing games. So, yeah, it's just something that I added to my channel besides comic books. Another thing I wanted to say is that I'm giving this away on my channel.
Oh,
yeah, this D&D Monopoly game.
Sick.
And it was donated by a buddy off of Instagram. And his name is Nick, and his Instagram is Nostalgia Toys and Collectibles. And yeah, the guy has bomb comic books, toys, games, trading cards like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! He's got sports like baseball, football, basketball. So if you need anything, you should hit him up. And he has he's on Instagram, and he's also on Facebook. So
cool, man.
Shout out to him.
That's cool that he donated that to you, man. You get to give that away too, bro.
For sure.
That's sick, man.
Totally kind of him. Yeah, cool guy.
Cool, man. And then we got some. Who would you be rocking if you're Are you an NBA fan too, man? It would probably be the Lakers right out here in SoCal.
Lakers.
It's a Lakers show. Yeah, the Lakers show, man. My wife's
I got my grandson all LeBron'd out, man. He wears LeBron jerseys to school almost every other day. So yeah,
man. So, nice, man. I don't mind the Lakers, man. I don't mind the Lakers, bro.
Hey, no. Dude, you gotta root for dude. You guys from up there, of course you're gonna root for the the Warriors. That's good, man.
We got the Warriors of the Kings. You're either the Warriors or the Kings, man. And I don't know about the Cowbells, bro. You know what I'm saying? So the kid, but we got another friend on here, man. We got Nando in the house, man. And Nando's rocking the Kobe jersey, right, bro?
Always. What's up, everybody?
Hey.
Dang, man. How you doing, bro?
Good. It's my birthday week, so we're taking it easy a little bit, taking some time off of work, just hanging out at home today. Went swimming with the kids, went out and about, did some stuff. So that I did actually did some fun stuff yesterday and donated a day of my time at my LCS, and Kind of got some background work at a shop and to see the ins and outs of how that works. So that was a lot of fun yesterday, and
Cool.
I was sore.
Oh, dude, did you go digging? Did you go digging a little bit in the box in the back room?
You know, it was so they were dealing with two backed up weeks because of Diamond, and so they just needed the extra hands to get things organized, prepped out, get set out. You know, then making sure all the polls were done. They have their Instagram polls that they had to get done. So by 6 hours later, we were done with all of that, and they were getting ready for their live show on Instagram. So it was kind of like just boom, boom, boom. Didn't really have time to dig. So it was, but it was good though. It was a lot of effort, a lot of fun. You know, you got to learn a little bit more of the business, how they run it and how they do. So it was really good for me.
Nice.
What's the name of the place?
Ray's Comics and Collectibles in Garden Grove.
Oh, cool.
Oh, in Garden Grove.
Yeah.
Okay, so you drove out a little bit for that one, huh?
A little bit. I mean, I work that way.
Oh yeah,
so
you do, right? Yeah.
So I work that way. So for me, it's more of like on my way home kind of thing. But yeah, I work. I was there that day.
Okay, cool, man. Well, good to have you back on, bro. Fernando,
Yeah,
bro,
man.
Nando Knight, and then we got a new person up on here, man. We got a new person up on here, and that's Dab, bro. What's going on, Dab?
What's good? And what's good, everybody? Let me spray my hat. Shout out to the Boston Celtics.
Oh, bro. Oh, man, you're breaking all our hearts, bro. Even Nando, even though he's a Laker fan, they hate Boston too, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't. How you doing, bro? Where you at, man? Where you located at?
I'm located in South Carolina. So a little backstory on myself. I'm a United States Air Force, stationed in Charleston. And
thank you for your service, bro.
Yeah,
appreciate it. And I've been collecting for maybe like 3 years, but I started off doing like graphic novels, and then I recently got into single issues, and hit up Hoodrat, and he was a cool dude, and ever since then I just been collecting everything. So,
oh man, yeah, you better ask your branch of the military for a bigger place, bro, because once you start collecting comics, bro, like it takes up all.
I know,
the room,
man. These long boxes are getting stacked, man. I can't even move my feet around.
I know, right, bro? And what's your lady saying about all that, bro? All about the long boxes? Is she into it too, or?
She's been reading Alien, so she's into like stuff like that.
Okay.
So
that's good.
yeah, she's been reading the current series, and she doesn't mind, honestly. She likes the art herself, so.
Oh, bro, as long as your ladies, bro, is collecting, bro, like you'll have a good life, man. If your lady doesn't, if your wife or your girlfriend doesn't like comics and says that you're taking up too much space, then it's not a happy life, right? Can we all agree for the guys here? We're all married, right? Like long as you're. Oh no, you're not married.
I'm married. I got no worries. No.
I'm not, but I'm pretty much am.
Okay. But
I got lucky. Mine is she's like, you have your office. As long as it stays in the office, you're golden. So I got lucky. I
know, man. I mean, how about you, Paul? You got your ladies cool with it, right?
I got shit everywhere. This is like right here. This is just the garage. So yeah, she's kind of happy that I got some of the stuff out of the house and brought in the garage. But yeah. Anyways.
And how about you, Efren, back in the day when you were,
Hey, that's why we got a divorce, man. She didn't like that I was collecting comic books. I said, no.
But at least you got at least you kept the comics, man.
I kept the comics. Yeah.
At least you kept the comics, man.
Yeah.
Let's get into discussion, guys. I want to thank you all for joining in, man. And jumping on over here with me tonight on Wednesday, and we bumped it up, like I said, a little bit to 8:30, and Paul was kind of like, we doing this, bro? And I was like, oh, dude, we forgot.
I didn't hear about the time change. So yeah, I was like, I was up here for like 20 minutes. But the thing is, I'm kind of watching the game.
Yeah.
I was watching Padres play the Mets. By the way, fucking MLB, they better show the highlights because they never show Padres shit. And right now we're kicking the Mets ass 11-0. So they better show that shit on MLB tonight, or I'm gonna be fucking upset.
It's all
man.
Coke bias, man.
They are, man.
It is, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, for me to see the A's, bro, it's like a miracle. Like to see one A's game. I mean, at least, Efren, you could they give the Giants love at least, like the network TVs. The A's or the Padres. We never get any love, right, Paul? Never, bro. Never.
Never.
Dodgers get love though. Are you a Dodger fan, Fernando? I'm just assuming.
I think I am by marriage. I am, but growing up, actually, my dad was an A's fan, so I actually grew up watching the A's.
Yeah, there you go, man. How about you, Dad? What you, bro?
I don't watch baseball, man.
No,
unfortunately.
no.
Yeah, I'm
Good
just
for
like
you,
a
bro.
football and basketball guy, pretty much.
Yeah, man. It takes it. You know, I mean, when I used to live in Oakland, man, they used to have Wednesday night, bro. The Wednesday night dollars, bro. $1 hot dogs, $1 ticket. Remember those? Do you remember that, Efren? When
I
you're up
remember
there?
that. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Every Wednesday, you buy $1 ticket, then you buy $1 hot dogs. So you go in there for $1, you go in the third deck, and you just order 10 hot dogs in the first inning, bro, and you good. You know, like in the beer, you have 10 hot dogs and a beer for $15. Can't beat that, man. You know what I'm saying? So that was I don't know if they even do that anymore, man. I don't know if they do that anymore, but let's get into it, man. There's a couple of things I think we wanted to talk about on the show, man, because a lot of us attended the show, and one of the big ones was Star Wars Celebration, right? I know it was like 2 weeks ago, man, but I had a blast. I had a blast at Star Wars Celebration, man. I thought there was a lot of love, and there was a lot of people from everywhere, man. Like all the old, like every celebration, you get people from Germany, England, Italy, everywhere, man. I mean, Asia. It's crazy, man. All the Star Wars fans come out. They want to spend some money, man. But I had a really good time. Efren, you were there. Efren, you were there too, right?
Yeah, man. It was a blast. It was, it was like I went to WonderCon for one day, and it wasn't super crowded, but as the days wore on, especially on Saturday, it just seemed like a regular con. I mean, people were still wearing masks. Obviously, they made everybody wear a mask there. But people would take off their mask once they got inside. But it just, I mean, after a while, I just forgot about COVID, so to speak. And it was fun. And I kept on running into you. And I was eating that time at that restaurant. Then you and Nando and Javed walk into the same restaurant, man.
Man.
So I was like, this is crazy, man. So it was fun. I had a good time.
Yeah, I had a good time. And Nando, you were there as a vendor, man, like with Lego. How was that experience for you, man? Because I don't, I mean, me and Efren, we saw it from a different perspective, and you saw it from a different perspective too, right?
Yeah, yeah, it was crazy. It was a lot of work that went into that. You don't realize how much work you put into something like an event, like a convention, but it was really energetic. It was a lot of fun. It was our job kind of to keep our register front team engaged and energized and happy. So that was really fun with that. But I think it was more fun watching the people come up in cosplay, come up to the register. It's almost like you're getting the Mandalorian going, can I get this? Or, you get somebody dressed up as Darth Vader, like, pointing at something and then pulling out a credit card. So that was a lot of fun to see it from that point of view. But, getting to walk the floor a little bit and seeing the whole thing, like, Efren mentioned, doing WonderCon. We did WonderCon as well. Yep. And to me, it felt like WonderCon cosplaying Star Wars. That's kind of how, I kind of looked at it that way. There was so much Star Wars everywhere. There was so much, like you said, love. There was a lot of energy about just the positiveness about how much was happening in the building, and people seeing the Mando stuff, people seeing the stuff for the new shows. The Andor was big about that. The release of Obi-Wan, but it was just a lot of energy, and that was really great. The one thing I will say about the booth that we had was it was a fantastic sized booth. There was a lot of things to see, a lot of things to touch, a lot of things to take pictures with, but also to get a lot of what product we had available. So it was really good to see that. We had nothing left on Sunday. There was nothing left to sell on Sunday. So it was really good for us.
Yeah, man. You guys go ahead, F.
I'm sorry. Your booth, the people who worked there, Nando, did a really great job. I was walking around on Friday, and this one guy said, "Hey, you want some pictures?" And he was taking pictures of me like he was just really getting into it, man. So the people that you had there working did a really good job. Major props to you and to them.
Awesome.
Yeah, and the thing about Nando's booth is that it was like right in the middle, central, right? And then you had like Funko in the front of it, right? And then you had, what is that, box lunch, and then behind you was the kids stuff, the kids booth, man. And I spent a lot of time in the kids booth with my son, man. And he loved it, bro. And it was like perfect because the kids can go play, do the Lego stuff and then go over there behind you. And you guys donated a bunch of Lego stuff to the It looks like you guys did because they were giving out Lego like single figure packets, of like eight, like figures and some other Star Wars stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, we saw a thing. I believe it was a little poly bag that was given out to for just surveys. Taking time to answer a survey about how your experience was. What was fun about the convention, and what was enjoyable about the Lego booth and overall experience. So, Lego is definitely big about helping out people and doing the best that they can. So, making sure that the experience was really high and really great. But that was a big thing. So people were coming and, walking out with something just because it wasn't even like they had to really buy something. So it was more about, I think, us having a presence at the convention was really important because it was our first real presence back at a convention. So, we wanted to obviously have a high energy impact.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I think me and Efren are going to have a lot more questions for you about your presence in the other convention that's coming up too, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, we want the inside scoop, man. But Dad, bro, are you a Star Wars fan, bro?
Nah, not really, man. I mean, honestly, you got me into it. So I actually been watching, like, I don't know what order to watch Star Wars from, so I'm gonna need some advice. But I started with just from the very beginning with episode 4, I think it is. 4 or 5. So I'm way behind.
What do you think, bro? Because you're young, me and Efren and Nando, we're old. We're old, bro. Like, how does it feel like watching Star Wars being your age and seeing like that? Does it look old, bro? Does it look old?
It does. It's kind of rough watching, honestly, because I'm used to that modern age stuff. Like, I'm watching Kenobi now and I like how it's set up, but then when I watch that and I see Kenobi, I'm like, it feels like I'm on 2 different Kenobi. So yeah, but I'm trying to learn it, and I'm enjoying it because I see like the progression over time and stuff develops. So I see from 1970, and then it's going to be all the way to now Kenobi to 2022. So
it's a lifetime, bro. Like, Star Wars is a lifetime thing, right, guys? Like, you just kind of I mean, growing up, it was just a lifetime thing, man. Lifetime thing of watching. But Dabs, if you go on, I seen this today. I went on Disney Plus, and if you keep scrolling down on their homepage, it says like it'll tell you like Star Wars in chronological order. They lined up all the movies.
So I seen that. I seen that, and I know it says to start from episode 1, but I had a dude from my at work, and he was like, "Nah, man, you got to start from episode 4."
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I'm gonna start with episode 4. So
yeah, that's a core, man. Like episode 4, 5, and 6 are the core. Like that's kind of where you get your love for it. Hey, man, and check this out, man. We got someone jumped on, man, with us, man, and that would be
I was finna say, Dan. I was finna say.
Okay, I'm totally unprepared. I was on the fence if I'm going to come on, but I did make a promise to Dab Comics that if he got on, I'm going to jump on. So I'm here for you, Dab. So thanks. Here, guys, I'm ready to go, more or less. Sorry, I've got something on my face here.
Oh, no worries, man.
But anyway, the Star Wars thing. Here's the thing. I'm so old. I remember a time when there was no such thing as Star Wars. It was Star Trek,
Really?
Lost in Space. Oh, yeah. Star Wars came out in 1977. And I remember vividly there was no such thing as Star Wars. There's a news show movie that came out in 77. It was a big hit. And I went to go see it with my brother, and my brother loved it. And my brother's a Giants fan. He's kind of stupid. But anyway, he loved it. And I said, well, wait a minute. It was good, but it's not as good as Gene Roddenberry's Star Trek, which is what I was in love with. But it didn't take long to see the fan base absolutely explode. And before that, there was a huge following for, Star Trek and all that, and all the conventions and in cons and all that. Star Wars overtook that interest very quickly. By the 80s, it was all Star Wars. Star Trek was sort of like fading off into the sunset, if you will. But yeah, I remember that's. It's cool to be a time traveler like I am, because I remember these things, and now Star Wars is just this worldwide phenomenon, and my beloved Star Trek, most people don't even remember it.
Yeah, but Star Trek still is around, and obviously you know that, Dan. They have some good shows now too. I mean, well, Picard was okay, but they have the one with Captain Pike that just came out too, and the the animated series Lower Decks, that's a pretty funny show. I don't know if everybody's seen that by Star Trek, but I mean, I'm with Dan. I remember when Star Trek first came out, and as much as I like Star Wars, to me, Star Trek just holds a special place in my heart. You know?
Yeah, man. My dad, he was a Trekkie. He was a Trekkie, and he was a big 007 fan, and he was a big Trekkie. And now, you guys, if you know my first name, that's where I got my first name, is from, the 007 shows. Who was the writer and creator of 007?
Ian Fleming.
Yes,
man.
yes.
So I was born. I mean, I was practically born out of nerdom and fandom, bro. Like, when I was a kid, I was like, "Why did you name me Ian?" He goes, "Because Ian Fleming, man. Like 007, bro." I was like, "That's not cool, man. That's not cool." But now it's kind of cool, right? Like it's kind of sort of cool, Like, but then Star Wars overtook his life, when it came out. He said, but then he'd collect all the he would collect all the Star Trek VHSs, so I have the whole set. He collected all the VHSs for Star Wars. So I have even like the red first edition Star Wars VHS that's worth like thousands of dollars now. Like,
I have that.
Did you hear about that? This thing is like worth $1,000. I was like, what? Thousands of dollars for the first. If you have the beta, that's worth a lot too. Like these VHS stuff, man, it's crazy. But I grew up around. I mean, I saw how much it overtook his life, and like I'm gonna tell you a story, man. You guys are gonna laugh your ass off, bro. Like, so me and my wife, my wife's Catholic, and you have to go and see the priest and all that stuff and talk to him. And the priest kind of gives you an interview. I brought my dad in with us, and the dad, the priest is asking us that, from you guys are, can we say most of us are Catholics or are in Catholic, like, or know what it was. But the priest, he's a really cool dude. So he asked us, "Do you believe in God?" To my wife Donna, and my wife says, "Of course." He goes to me, "Ian, do you believe in God?" I say, "Yeah, of course." And he goes, and they turn to my dad. My dad's sitting in another seat, just chilling. He goes, "Larry, who do you believe in?" My dad was like this: "I believe in the Force." And I was like, "Oh, shit." Bro, I was like, "What?" I was like, dude, so he and then him and the priest had this like philosophical talk about the Force and God, and the priest was like, I like that. So, and they just all went into it. And in the end, the priest was like, I'm good with you believing in the Force. I was like, bro, I was sweating. I was like, man, this priest ain't gonna let us get married, bro. But it was a great, I could. We kind of, this is how we all do it, man. It's a tangent,
Ian, I was brought up Catholic. In fact, you and I are from Oakland. Do you remember a little Catholic school called St. Jarlath?
Yeah, man. I do.
I grew up. That was my grade school, and so it was extremely strict back in those days. Yeah. But they've moderated quite a bit. So I bet you that priest had a lot of fun with the Star Wars conversation and all that. It's not as rigid as it's portrayed. There's a lot of leeway these days. They want to have fun with life, and that's the whole point of why we do the comic books, why we do the Star Trek, the Star Wars. Life is too serious already. We got to have an escape. We got to be happy, and there's a value in being happy, and that's why I love this community, and I'm happy to be part of it and participate. And again, Dab, I love you, man. You and I made a promise together. Here we are. When I saw you on the screen, I'm like, okay, the man he's a man of his word. I got to go out there and live up to my word. So here
I can't believe this.
But just thinking about it, right? I mean, the Force is kind of like God, right? Like God's all around you. Then you got like, the Holy Spirit and all that stuff. Like that's the way the Force kind of works too, right? Like if you think about it, Jesus was the ultimate like Jedi, you know what I'm saying? Like peace, love, and sanctity and all that stuff. And he could do miracles, and that's kind of what the Jedi do. So
we're getting kind of and we're getting kind of heavy, but there is a great value in what you're talking about here, and people want to believe in something higher and more powerful than themselves. And whether it's you believe in, again, they talk about philosophy in Star Trek, they talk about that in Star Wars, and it doesn't matter if you believe in Muslim things. Like our friend Jaw is Muslim; he believes in a faith, something higher than himself. He's a wonderful man. And I believe my faith, and that's fantastic. If you have no faith, that's totally fine. But there's nothing wrong with looking for something bigger than yourself. And again, with the world is horrible as it is, you want to look towards some better things, you know. And I told you this on Monday's show. I love Gene Roddenberry's vision of the future. I love Stan Lee's vision of the future, and I could identify it because, you know, again, when I was a kid, I was old enough where it wasn't cool to be a nerd. If you're a nerd, you're picked on. You know, you're not no friends. They and even the parents and the teachers, they were horrible. They didn't come to your defense. They were laughing along with the other kids that were making fun of you. So, you know, we've come a long way since, you know, the old days of 60s and 70s. And again, I love this community. I love the diversity that we have here, and I love to celebrate it.
Yeah, you know, and Star Wars. I mean, to me, Star Wars always represented like hope, right? Like it always has hope. You know, like the rebels fight for hope, and whatever they were called in like Force Awakens, they were, you know, for hope. And then you had the, you know, the Jedis, all the, you know, in the prequels for hope, for like something better, you know. So, yeah, man. I mean, we got kind of deep here, you know. We went deep into Star Wars, but that's what we do on the show because we don't know where we're going right half the time on this show. So yeah. But what do you think, man, Paul? Man, what do you? I mean, you're old school, bro. Like. What's your take on it all, man?
As far as like the newer stuff, I'm kind of hot and cold on a lot of the new stuff, especially with Disney. You know, I love the old school Star Wars. I love the characters. I cared for the characters, and it seems like nowadays they just throw out all these characters that I don't care much for. You know,
it's hard to attach, right? It's hard to attach.
Yeah, it's hard to attach, and it's like sometimes they throw stuff out there, and I feel like they're hoping it sticks to the wall. You know, but the thing is, I care about is like, you know, the characters from the original trilogy. And I don't know. I think as I'm getting older, I'm becoming a cranky old man. So,
I know, man.
But you know, honestly, I don't want to be that guy. I actually want to like everything that comes out, but I don't know. I guess I'm just too critical. I just gotta, I don't know, let things slide. And sometimes, I don't know, man.
I mean, we're all becoming our dads, you know what I'm saying? Like in some way or another, right? Like, you know, and how do you know? Like it's comfortable, man. Like you know, because I'm with you, man. Like, you know, 4, 5, and 6, bro. Like nothing can touch the 4, 5, and 6. And then I saw the prequels, and I was like, what the hell? And the prequels were where I actually could watch those with my dad. I saw all 3 of those with my dad on opening day. You know, like, but you know, like, and I didn't like them, man. I didn't like the prequels either, man. I didn't like the prequels either, you know. So, but the prequels keep getting better and better as time kind of goes, you know, because
it kind of grows on you.
Yeah, it grows on you because Filoni, you know, Filoni's like, I mean, if we didn't have Filoni and Favreau, bro, what would Star Wars be? Like, Jesus, man, like those guys
said.
You know, they saved us, man. They saved us, right? They kind of brought back that gunslinger mentality, man, to Star Wars, you know, like that was missing in like and I would even say it was missing in Force Awakens stuff, you know, like, you know, the you know, 6, 7, 8, you know, or 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in 7, 8, 9. So yeah, man, but yeah, that's Star Wars, man. But since we're on the subject of Star Wars, man, I know me and let me see if I can get this moving. Me and Paul on Instagram, bro. Me and Paul on Instagram, we kind of had a go back and forth about the Kenobi show. I want to check with everybody. Has everybody watched? Oh, here we go, bro. Like,
he put the rally cap on. He got to go backwards now.
So, who's watched all the Kenobi shows here? At least
3 out of 4.
Some. 3 out of 4.
I'm on 3 out of 4.
I watched all of them.
You watch all of them, Dabs? You watch all of them? Okay, cool, man. I'm gonna go first, man. I like the Kenobi show because it's kind of it's a new take, man. I remember Dan when I was we talked about over like speculation and how it ruins us. You know, like you know how we speculate about a movie and we get it all right. We're like, dude, we're not surprised. You know, like the reason why I like Obi-Wan Kenobi is because it surprised the hell out of me, man. When I thought it was for me, I thought it was all gonna be just on Tatooine, and it's gonna run like the Aaron run, right? The Aaron run from the Kenobi journals. I was like, okay, we're gonna see Kenobi fight, Chrysanthemum, and we're gonna see, Luke, Luke saved the day, like with that, all that stuff, right? It was gonna be based on like, Obi-Wan watching Luke, but it switched to Obi-Wan watching, trying to save Leia. And to me, that was like, I can enjoy that, man. It was like, you flipped the script on me, and I didn't see it coming. You slapped me on the back of the head and said, Ian, you thought you were a Star Wars fan, but look, bro, we got you anyway. That's what I loved about this show, man. And I actually watched number 4, and I enjoyed number 4. I really enjoyed number 4. I've enjoyed all of them. I enjoyed number 3. People have some issues with number 3 because because of logical reasons, why did he have to go through the gate when he could have just went around, but yeah, man, I mean, I enjoyed them, but some people haven't. And I have one person here that didn't enjoy him. has enjoyed Kenobi. Go ahead, bro. I mean, I'm not going to hate, man. Everybody, I want to hear because it'll probably enlighten me, things you've seen.
Well, I don't know why you focused on me, but the thing is, okay, it's just too many plot holes, man. Just not everyone saw today's episode, right? Or episode 4?
Not yet.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, I've
Did you
seen
see
it.
Yeah, I've seen it.
There's just too much logical shit that they're not like. It's just like they're not getting. You know what I mean? It's like shit that that should be obvious. They're missing, and to me, it's like, the thing with Star Wars fans are not stupid. They have a brain on their shoulders. So if they see something and it doesn't look right, I mean, it's like, really? Why would you do that? And it's kind of like that. So okay, I'll go to 3.
I can agree with you, bro. Like there's a lot of plot holes going on, and
the thing with me is that
they're assuming we'll fill in the gaps, right? Like, but we want to see it. We're like, that's not my job to fill in the gaps, but that's your job to fill, make it full for us, right?
How many episodes is this Obi-Wan?
6.
See, so right now they're at 4, right?
Yeah.
And I'm getting worried, because I'm gonna have 2 episodes to wrap it up, and I'm not impressed. I want to be, because I'm telling you, when because I've been for a long time, out of everything that Star Wars Disney was gonna come out, Obi-Wan Kenobi was one of the ones that I wanted to do. So when they announced that they were gonna have it, I was very excited. Okay. But what worried me is after I saw Book of Boba Fett. Book of Boba Fett was a piece of shit. I was so mad. So I'm thinking, and then the dread came in, like, what if Obi-Wan is bad, just as bad, right? But it hasn't been that bad. Actually, I'm gonna tell you, you said it, Hood. Episode 4 was actually pretty good. It was actually out of all the episodes, that one I enjoyed the most, to be honest. But there was a lot of things that happened in that episode that was like, really? Why'd they do it that way? You know what I mean? Or I don't know, man.
But I'm with you though, man. Like especially in episode 3, when Vader was dragging him into the fire, and then what's her name blew up the whole thing, right? Like I was like, bro, Vader, you're this, bro. You has anybody read Vader Down? Like, if you ever invited Vader Down, bro, like he crashes on Tatooine, and then all the rebels are like, yo, Vader crashed on Tatooine. We're all gonna go get him. So they brought this whole force on him, bro. He was throwing rocks at him and shit, like boulders. He was like throwing his lightsaber at him. Like they were in ships, bro. Like they were like flying in X-wings and other ships, and they were on, bro. There was like hundreds of people on him, bro, and he was just killing them all. But you can't grab Obi-Wan Kenobi on the other side of a fire, bro, and like smash that robot smash that robot on the other side. Like, yeah, I was like that kind of you know, I was like, people were gonna get on him for this one, man. But you know me, man, I'm a forgiving person. I've been practicing forgiveness, and I was like, I'll forgive the director, bro, for that one, bro. Like, you know, I was like, but yeah, I was like, and they're not even that far away, right? In the fire, it's probably like what 30 yards. 30
and he put
yards?
out the fire in the beginning, didn't he? Darth Vader just waved his hand and the fire and went away.
Yeah, bro.
Why didn't you do that shit again?
You know, because Vader wants to have fun, bro. Vader's like, you know, Vader doesn't like it easy, man. Vader likes to chase, bro. It's like, you know, like some guys want to get the girl because she's you know, it's easier to get her. Some people just like to chase, bro. Like it. I think Vader just likes to chase, bro. I think Vader likes to chase, man.
They said, okay, before this came out, before Obi-Wan came out, everyone was saying, "Oh man, wait until you see Obi-Wan fight Darth Vader. It's gonna be dope." No, man, that was lame. Obi-Wan was getting his ass kicked. I thought it was gonna be an epic lightsaber duel. We didn't get that.
Well, Obi-Wan looks super old, bro. He looked super old, and he was super scared, man.
Yeah.
But Dabs, man, you're the new one of the bunch, bro. What'd you think about it, man?
I enjoyed it. And I guess to understand Kenobi, I feel like he is old, and they wanted to display that he doesn't have it like he used to, like the young Kenobi. But rather than that, so the first episode, I guess the first two, I was like, man, I don't know, because I was like, man, the little Leia she was like annoying and I couldn't get over that for a minute, but then it started to get better for me, and I was like, all right. And then I started to see development in like Reva, and I started to see her drive, and then like you said with the whole fire thing, I thought that was ridiculous because I was like,
yeah,
man, I was like, Vader finally gets here and he just gets away and he can't do anything. He can't he just lets him go. Like he could have just like pulled him towards him or something, but.
Bro, I think I don't know, man. I read a lot of like Star Wars comics, man, and I think there was this one comic where he actually fucking brought down a moon, bro. You know, like, yeah, bro. So I was like, you can't reach over or turn off the fire, like Paul said. You can't extinguish the fire. You can't just like pull all three of them up. You know, Kenobi, the robot, and that one chick, and just crush them with your hands. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. That was kind of weird. Yeah, I don't know.
Even in Empire Strikes Back, bro, like he choked someone from across the galaxy, bro. Like, you know, in a hologram. You're like, you can't do it over 30 yards. Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I agree, bro. But we have another what's your opinion on this, Efren? I got you on blast, bro.
Well, you know, Star Wars has such a long legacy. We're talking about over 50 years, and I think anybody who makes these movies and TV shows that are being made now, it's a hard legacy to make everything that everybody likes to see in a movie. I don't know if these directors have like a consultant there that that knows Star Wars as much as like say somebody who's a big that knows Star Wars like for decades, or these directors are just new and they don't really know much about Star Wars. But I mean, I'm kind of just glad that they're out there also, to be honest with you. I mean, you got to remember after 1, 2, and 3, everybody probably thought that was it for Star Wars as far as movies are concerned, And when Disney took them over, I know everybody has, their ups and downs with Disney. And I'm just glad that they're making these shows, I wish they were better, to be honest with you, some of them. I agree with Paul, like the Book of Boba Fett. I mean, the best part was when the Mandalorian was on there.
It was, I'll be honest.
That was the best episode.
When he came out, bro, I had a Mandalorian.
It's hard to carry that legacy.
Bro.
We're talking about over 50 years of continuation with the comic books. I'm talking about mostly now, and just to make everybody happy. You're not, So, but I'm glad that they're out there. So,
I'm with you on that one too, because I don't think a lot of people remember, like after Return of the Jedi and all the way to what 1990. 2000 and what when did the or no,
it was 99 is when Phantom Menace.
99 we had nothing, bro. We had nothing. We had to read books or collect comics.
Check your VHS tapes out.
Yeah, dude, like
yeah.
Oh, what's up? Yeah, man, we had nothing. We had all these books, and there were those small little cheap books, like that, they were like 300, 400 pages. And I used to read all the bounty hunter stuff, man. And I would read Heir to the Empire and stuff by Zahn, I would just collect, I would see all the comic books at the flea market. I would just pick them up, man. That's all we kind of had. There was no like,
yeah.
It was funny, man, because you would read about Boba Fett in a book, and then you read them in like Shattered Empire or something. Like, it's like, this shit don't make no sense. Like, none of the writers were like, collaborating like Soul does now, like with High Republic. How Soul kind of like is an architect, and he kind of gives the groundwork for everybody, so they're always working together. Even Soul said, like at the panel, right? He goes, "Yeah, we have a Zoom call every week, so we can keep each other on the same page." That shit wasn't happening, bro, back in the day, man. It was just like, you write your book, I'll write my book, and we'll leave it at there. Leave it there, man. So there's content, So no, one, we're getting, like you said, we're getting content, like cinematic content, and everything is kind of in continuity now. Like it's all kind of making sense, not like it used to. But Dan, man, were you a big Kenobi fan, man? Back in the day, like in '77 when it came out.
I loved All Star Wars.
Yeah. What do you think now about this new Kenobi, man?
I loved All Star Wars, and it's on the list. I was actually watching the Ms. Marvel show before getting on this channel here to get caught up with that.
We'll talk about that. I have that here. I have it in here too.
All right, but let's look at the big picture here, because I was just looking up a second ago when Disney bought Marvel Comics in 2009 and then Star Wars in 2012. Those are two of the biggest purchases in entertainment history. But I think they might have bitten off more than they can chew for this reason. When they bought Marvel Comics, many of the people that had worked alongside Stan Lee and Jack Kirby in the Marvel bullpen are still alive. In fact, you see them in the credits when you see an MCU movie. Steve Englehart, Roy Thomas, a few others that the names are escaping right now. Those are people who knew Stan Lee. They knew Jack Kirby. They knew what the Silver Age and Bronze Age was all about, and so they knew how to interpret the script and the storyline, how to put it on the big screen, so they have people to guide them through. Not everything's perfect, but in large measure, it's quite good. When they bought Star Wars, and again, this is a bit of speculation on my part, I don't know if they grabbed the people that worked with George Lucas and understood what his vision was, which just absolutely captivated everyone. It's almost like, and I think Passpoint said it, that they're just, Paul said it, they're throwing things on the wall, putting a Star Wars name on it, and assuming that it'll just sell without putting the real thought, the real background behind it, looking at what worked in the 70s, worked in the 80s, why Star Wars became so prominent. And I don't know who is still around, if they've tapped anyone at all. It doesn't seem like it. It seems like they're sort of doing their own thing. And you can sort of say the same thing about last year's Star Wars, because in the comics, because Marvel Comics Star Wars was nowhere near as good as the IDW Star Wars. Whoever was doing the IDW Star Wars comics just simply knew what the Star Wars flavor was. Yeah, so there's a complete missing element here on the big screen. The problem is, if they keep screwing up, let's be blunt about it. If they keep screwing up these movies and these shows, Star Wars people are going to say, you know what? Call me when you get your act together. They're going to just stay home, and Disney's going to have to take a good long look at what they're doing. Talk to Star Wars people, because again, you have a very selective and very shrewd audience that knows what to look for, and until they produce that, the Disney Star Wars is going to be sort of up in the air.
Yeah, I mean the only person that they have kind of there's two people, right, that are kind of running, that are just like Roy Thomas, or someone that's kind of like the note person, keeping notes and keeping people on the same page. It's Filoni and Favreau, right? And Filoni came on like right after episode 1 with Clone Wars, so we're lucky we've had Filoni. And I think they only started taking Filoni serious after The Mandalorian. So, once The Mandalorian came out, bro, like everybody's like Filoni and Favreau. Whatever y'all want to do, we're going to do, man. But I mean, those are kind of the architects now for Star Wars. And I feel like sometimes if they're not involved, you could tell if they're not involved in a story, like it just goes off the rails, man. So, I mean, Filoni, what would you say, Efren? Right, Filoni and Favreau are if it wasn't for them, bro, we wouldn't. It would be a mess, right? Because Kathleen Kennedy would be running that shit. You know, yeah. But everybody gives Kathleen Kennedy a lot of crap. I actually saw her. Efren, I saw her at, I was going one way and she was going the other, and people were she would stop to take pictures of people. I was like, yo, she's nice. She's a nice person, man. So a lot of people give her crap, but she stopped like in the halls, and you knew it was her. And I mean, she got a lot of booze too, right? Like when she would walk out, bro, it was funny, bro. She'd walk out, and you hear this low murmuring boo, on her. Like, bro, I feel so bad for her. She's such a nice lady, man. She was just like, okay, smiling with everybody, selfies. I was like, dude, she's cool, man. She's cool.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah. But I won't lie, man. I won't lie. I was kind of I was booing too. You know what I'm saying? So,
the low murmur was just Ian. It was just Ian.
But yeah, man.
Ian, go to confession this Saturday. I'm sorry, man. Come on, you got to confess.
All right, we're gonna switch kind of like switch scripts, man. Did you guys see the Black Adam trailer?
Yeah,
not yet.
Yes.
Not yet.
Oh, it's sick. If someone could, hey, Efren, can you pull it up, man, on your computer?
Give me a couple minutes. I'll be right back. I'll find it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Efren's good at that, man.
I'll be back.
He played it last time, bro. Who's seen it? Anybody?
Yeah,
I seen it. Did you see it? Nando?
Yeah.
Hey, what'd you think, bro? What'd you think? Go ahead, man. You're a DC person too, so you're perfect, man, for this.
Oh man, now you put pressure on me.
No, you can say if you don't like it, you don't like it. If you like it, you like it. Like that's.
I want to like it. Like, first of all, I grew up a wrestling kid in the 90s, so anything The Rock did, like I would always be supportive of, just because you want to see people do well in their life and stuff, and obviously he has. So I've watched it, right? And then I watched the trailer and I'm watching it. Obviously you see the first on-screen appearance of Hawkman. You see Dr. Fate. So, the DC nerd in you starting to go like, oh, we're going to get some good stuff out of this. And obviously The Rock is just, the size of a building. So he looks massive and he looks impressive in his costume. And I just want to see, I want to dig in deeper and see what approach of the story they want to take with him, because they're talking about how he's making the hero out of everything, but he's going to be choosing this side of how he can choose to kill. So it's like, how much of a hero are you? And it's, they're going deep into this story, and I want to see where it's going to go with it. Cause Black Adam has different views. And what's really interesting right now is if you haven't started to read, hold on, where is this right now? Where am I at? I'm up here right now. Oh man, I just had it right here. If you haven't read Dark Crisis 1 yet, right? Dark Crisis 1 actually has a very compelling Black Adam story towards the end of it, where the spoiler, if the Justice League is gone, right? The Justice League is dead, and it's a new Justice League, right? So, you have the son of Superman in it. You have different versions of the characters coming into play. And the Teen Titans are kind of stepping into play of this, and the Titans are like, we can do this. We've stepped in place. We will do this. And Adam is literally standing there in between, Deathstroke and the Rogues and the new Justice League, saying, you are yet children. You do not know how to lead. You do not know how to fight. And it's like, so then they're like, well, then side with us and help us. And he's like, and then it kind of cliffhangers off in saying whether or not Black Adam's going to join the Justice League or not. So it's kind of interesting that DC's comics are lining this story up right now, months before the movie comes out. So I'm interested to see where it's going to go. I'm excited because, like you guys are talking about with Star Wars, like, getting as much Star Wars stuff out there just to have it is great. Same thing for all of us, I think, with whether movies or books or shows. And, we want to see all of our characters that we've read come to life in some form. Hopefully it's good, but we'd still rather take it than not have it at all.
Okay. Efren just pulled it up. You got it again?
Can you see it?
All right. Yeah, I can see it, man. I got it.
Okay. You guys ready?
Watch it, man. You ready? Let's watch this, bro.
Oh shit.
Oh, wait a minute. Sorry.
Adam, what have your powers ever given to you? Nothing but heartache.
I was a slave until I died. Then I was reborn a god. My son sacrificed his life to save me. Open fire! War going. Now, I kneel before no one. War going on outside when they say from. In this world, there are heroes. I feel the pain in my city wherever I go. And there are villains. Heroes don't kill people. Well, I do.
My vision has shown me the future. You have two choices. You can be the destroyer of this world, or you can be its savior. That's up to you.
Behind you!
Did he just catch a rocket?
He got a rocket.
That's sick. That's sick. I gave it to him, man. I liked it, man. I liked the trailer got me kind of pumped, bro. But Nando, man, I have no idea. I have no idea what Black Adam is, man. Can you tell us what in the comic books what he is, man? I mean, or Dan? You know,
I would defer to Dan on this one because my Black Adam is pretty light at the moment.
Dab, can you do a dab? Do you know Black Adam?
Only a little bit. I don't know him as much. I know like the whole conduct, and it's kind of like he's similar to Shazam, but not really. I don't know exactly though.
Dan, do you know? You know, Dan knows
a little bit. I mean, as I understand it, he's sort of the Sinestro to Green Lantern. But here's what I see with DC. When the Shazam movie came out versus the Captain Marvel movie a week later or prior, the Captain Marvel movie was awful. If it wasn't, for Samuel L. Jackson, he saved the movie because of his sheer brilliance of acting. But the Shazam movie was absolutely outstanding. You had the Captain Marvel family. It was entertaining. It was fun. It was one of the rare bright moments of DC. I see the same thing with Black Adam. I think DC is finally gaining some traction. I think this will be one of the pivotal moments of the DC universe. And this is why I'm in the camp of, if you're speculating on comics, I would get some DC keys while you can, because movies like this are going to gain traction. They just are.
Yeah, it looks like it looks, you can't go wrong with The Rock, right? Like, I love Dwayne Johnson, man, and his movies, bro. I'm a big fan of Dwayne Johnson too, like, and just his story and how he came up, and everything, man. So I'm excited for him. Am I the only one excited? Anybody else excited? Paul, Efren?
I'm excited.
I'm excited to see it.
Yeah.
You excited? You excited, Dabs?
Yeah, I'm excited because what Nando was saying earlier, and I'm a fan of Young Justice, and I've always preached that if DC wants to be successful, I think you gotta throw away the old Justice League. You gotta start with a new.
Yeah.
Just like Marvel's doing with the Young Avengers, they can be doing the Young Justice and then throwing the Teen Titans, and they already have Blue Beetle, and people are already liking that. So I just feel like if they go that direction and have The Rock kind of lead that path right now, I think DC can be back on the map with that. So,
yeah, man. What? How about you? Paul? What you think, man? What you think about it? You old school too.
Nah,
it looked good, huh? It looks good, huh?
It's good.
I spent $20 on it, bro.
I think when Shazam came out, I think that was like a sleeper hit for DC. when it came out. Nobody was really expecting anything, and when it came out, I mean, I love that movie. It was great.
Yeah.
And the thing with me was when it was successful, I was hoping to have a Black Adam feature, and then when they connected Black Adam with The Rock, I was like, that's a no-brainer. You know, the thing is that you know, just like Nando said, you know, the thing with me is you know, I'm a fan of pro wrestling. I love pro wrestling. By the way, I went to Double or Nothing at Vegas a couple weekends ago, and that was a lot of fun. So, but
did you run into Rock, bro? Did you run into The Rock?
Nah, Rock wasn't out there. Nah, he's WWE. But the thing is that I've been a fan of The Rock since his wrestling days, and anything he's connected to, man. Yeah.
Man, I'm not a wrestling fan. I mean, I was a wrestling fan in the 80s, man. You know, with back in the day, Roddy Piper and Hulk. You know, like, I mean, back in those days, like, bro, but I don't know what happened, man. But I'm not a wrestling fan, but I fucking love The Rock, bro. I love him, man. Like, I love his hustle. I love his shows, man. I love all that he's doing, bro. Like, Rock is like a very positive, very positive black person, brown person, Samoan person. He's like all these people, bro. Like, he represents kind of all of us, man. What is it? He's like Hype. What's up, Hype, bro? But he's such a great role model for all us, for all of us, man. Like, no matter what color you are, because he's everything, you know what I'm saying?
Ian, you asked the question, are we excited about this movie? I'd like to be, but I'm more hopeful because, again, there's been so many disappointments from DC. I want them to get on the map. I don't want to be rooting against DC. They have so much to offer here. I'm hoping this is a good beginning. I like the Batman movie. I think it was a good surprise and a good direction. I think it was a mistake that they made that a standalone that should be integrated with the DC universe because I like the actor, I like the story, a bit long and so forth. But again, think about if DC gets their act together. Imagine where we are with Marvel, with Kevin Feige, everything that man says, we hang on every word. If DC it starts going down that same road of success after success after success, look at the explosion in the comic market. This is something we absolutely need, given sort of the downturns and difficulties we're having with CGC, the economy, and all the rest of it. This would be a huge shot in the arm if DC gets on the right path.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. And we got another big fan of wrestling in the house, man. We got Hype. Hype, Hyper's a big wrestling fan, man. But yeah, I mean, I would say all of us are, even Nando, right? You're looking forward to this movie, right? Are you gonna put 20 on it, bro?
Oh yeah, it'll probably be like, we have little kids, so it's really hard for us to get the movies like right away. Like Batman, when Batman came out, obviously we actually had early access to that one, so we went to the Tuesday showing. So we made sure there was a sitter. So for Black Adam, I think I'm on that same boat where I'd like to, we're gonna have a sitter for Black Adam so we can go see that one opening night. But Dan is right. The whole idea of what can put a shot in the arm in the comics, because comics are struggling with them because 70% of the revenue that comes out of DC right now is strictly Batman. So it's really hard to have these legacy characters and stories that exist to really be prevalent in the forefront. So to have that availability and potential, I agree. Hopeful is a great word for this right now, and I'm on the same boat. I want to be excited. I am excited because it's another opportunity to see some DC stuff. But like I said, the idea right now with the new story that they're building with Black Adam, kind of telling Son of Superman that he's not fit to lead the new Justice League, but he knows who is. He's kind of like that conscience and voice right now. So it's really interesting the position they're putting Black Adam in the stories before the movie comes out.
What I'm excited about is something other than Batman. I mean, I love the Batman movie, but DC always puts such a focus on Batman. It's like, how many Batman movies can we have? Let's like leave Batman alone. Let's put him on the side for like 5 years and just develop all these other characters and get everybody excited, and then bring Batman in as a surprise somewhere, right? We even need some stuff around Superman. Like the Superman's movies has just been sleeping, man. Like, you have all these great DC characters like Black Adam and Superman, and I mean, I enjoyed the Wonder Woman stuff too, you know. But yeah, let's focus on something other than Batman. So, F, you have anything, man, to say about DC, man?
So when I looked at the trailer, I like that they put some humor into it, and I think they have to follow through with that. If it's a good movie, they have to get a blueprint for this movie and, you know, go from there. Hopefully the next Aquaman movie too will be good. You know, they just gotta go get momentum going for their movies and grab people's interest. This trailer grabbed my interest. I even like the Adams costume in the trailer too. So, you know, it's got to pique everybody's interest, and hopefully it's a good movie and go from there. You know, don't fall back. You know, like I said, put Superman and Batman a little bit in the background, like you said, Ian. You know, do these other characters that nobody outside of the comic book community knows much about. You know, and hopefully, you know, that's going to happen.
It's bringing the lanterns. Like, let's have a whole 3 movies about like just the lanterns, the Green Lanterns, man. Like, there's so much rich history there that they're just leaving behind for Batman and Superman. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm with that too, man.
If I can add on that real quick, you talking about the Green Lantern stories. Like, there's one story that I would love to see either like a full animated film, because DC's animated is superior to everybody else's, and I would love to see either a DC animated or a live action film done correctly of Green Lantern's Blackest Night. If they could do that, that would be fantastic. That's like been my DC
Lee,
animated universe,
tell
finger
Jim
crossed,
Lee right now.
Give me that one.
You know Jim Lee still has some pull there, bro. Tell Jim Lee, bro. Like, let's bring that, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a real DC fan right here.
Yeah,
you know?
that's Blackest Night would be one hell of a story to tell on screen.
Hey, real quick, guys, what do you think of the Titans TV show? Do you guys? I really enjoy the Titans show.
I like it. I enjoy it. I like it, man. I think you can bring those characters into a movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have it all set up, you know?
You talking about the Titans animated?
No, the regular
HBO Max. The
HBO Max series.
I have not seen it. I love the not Titans Go, but I love the Titans animated. I agree. The DC's animation is absolutely outstanding. They're far superior to Marvel. And again, if they can produce it on anime, there's a way to do this on the big screen. You just need the right acting and the right direction and the right storyline. But they should emulate what they've done with Justice League. Justice League was outstanding. And Titans is another one. By the way, this is a great spec that I have personally put my money on. DC Presents 26. I think that is an unbelievably underrated comic. First appearance of the new Teen Titans with 3 characters. You've got Cyborg, Starfire, and Raven. I think if you have the means, get your hands on that while you can.
You should present that one over on the Monday Night Jive as a sleeper.
I just need a private Dan episode so I can get all the DC keys now for myself, so I can get the heads up on it before everybody else does.
and then Daz, man, you watch a Teen Titan show, right?
Yeah, I do.
I would like to hear from you as a young man, you know, like, because you're the future. We're all gonna be dead, bro, when all this stuff comes. You know, so.
Yeah, you guys are just teaching me everything. I'm gonna be the next host of the show and everything.
Yeah, bro. I'll just transfer it all to you, bro. You're the new Hoodrat. You know. Go ahead. What do you think, man? What do you think about it?
I honestly, Teen Titans was one of my favorite animated shows growing up. I just honestly rewatched like the movies and stuff like that. My stepdaughter, she watched Teen Titans Go, but Teen Titans, if they can finalize and put it on the big screen, I think even the young community as well as us older in the community, we would really love to see the Teen Titans. And like I said earlier, Young Justice, the Teen Titans, I think it would be so good to have that, and DC would definitely, if they can capitalize off that if they get the right director.
And then Hyper has input. Said people have to look at history. Empires do not last if they do not adapt and innovate. Marvel, I feel, is coasting compared to how it was in the first few phases. Yeah, man, I think they are. But man, I mean, I kind of like that new show. We'll talk about it in a second, man. But let's talk about it now. I have it right here. I've watched this and I like it, man. I like this new Miss Marvel show. I think it was a great way of bringing her in without like being so without shoving it in our face. You know, like I really like this actress too as Miss Marvel. I like, you know, her family. I like the way that they're focusing on her culture without shoving it in our face. You know, like, I mean, you guys got to go watch it, man. It is, and I'll let you guys know it's for kids. It's for kids, but it's fun. It's fun for adults. And I'll tell you this, man, my son doesn't focus on anything but dinosaurs, and he likes dinosaurs and Pokemon, right? Like that. If you put dinosaurs and Pokemon on TV, bro, he'll be quiet for like 20, 30 minutes. Bro, he was into Miss Marvel. I was watching him, and I kind of timed it. He came in, he started watching like 10 minutes in, and then he watched the whole thing. He loved it, you know. And I'm looking at him, I'm like, if it connects with him and he's a 4-year-old, like it's connecting with a lot of younger people too. Like this could be a lot of people could be not giving Miss Marvel her credit, man, because this could actually be a really great show. And I'm looking at this young woman, you know, this young woman who's playing Miss Marvel, and you know, I'm thinking like Feige would, like, how would she play as a mature Miss Marvel, like, you know, 10 years or, you know, maybe 8 years, 6 to 8 years from now. She could do it, man. She could do it. Like, she'll grow and she'll be more mature in who she is. And you just got to look at like 11 too. Like I always look at 11 because that's like, we kind of watched her grow up in, you know, in Stranger Things. And that girl, man, like she's really grown into like a pretty, you know, beautiful woman and a pretty decent actress, man, that you could follow kind of anywhere. And I kind of feel the same way about this actress that plays Kamala Khan, man. Who else watched Miss Marvel? Did you said you watched it, Dan, right?
I watched the first 2/3 of it before getting on the show, and I'm going to share something very personal with all of you here. It took a few minutes to get into, but what grabbed me was this. I have 2 daughters, and one of them reminded me of this actress and this character. She was, you know, brown skinned, nerdy kind of kid who wasn't widely accepted, especially in grade school or in high school. She hated high school because of that. And as I'm watching this character here, it reminded me of my oldest daughter. Mm-hmm. And so that was a very personal thing for me. And you know what? I can't be the only one who was grabbed by this sort of storyline. And so instantly I'm now a fan of this particular character.
Me too. Yeah, I'm a fan. I mean, I've kind of been a fan of Miss Marvel for a while because I read a couple of her runs, and it's always her. If you haven't read the Miss Marvel books, they're really good, man. They're really good. There's a really good continuity to it and family feel to it. And I think, what do you think, Dan? There was a pretty like warm thing, warm feel about this movie. I mean, this show, right? Like her family, how much they care about, how protective her mother and father are of her, you know, and her just trying to stretch her wings to, like, you know, kind of be herself. But yeah, man, I liked it a lot. Anybody else watch Miss Marvel between me and Dan?
Yeah, I watched it too.
What'd you think, bro?
So yeah, I like the Miss Marvel. I love how colorful it was. It kind of reminded me of like what is Spider-Verse and all the colors and art and stuff. But it was fun, and like you said, for the younger girls out there, they have their little superhero now, and I think it's awesome because, you know, like it felt like a really, really good movie. You didn't get like what you got on Moon Knight, where it's, you know, it's deep, or you didn't get any deep action on it, but it was just fun to watch. So,
and you know what's more relatable about it also is that a lot of us kind of grew up like Miss Marvel, right? Like we were all kind of like nerdy. That's, you know, trying to fit in high school. We didn't, you know, never. Okay, you're lucky, man. But we didn't fit in, you know, like kind of like her, you know, like watching her like kind of walk through the hallways. You're like, I was kind of like her, man. I remember those moments, bro, when you would wave to somebody. You're like, why is he waving at us? You know, like, and you just feel all awkward and stuff, man. But yeah, man, it's I say give it a chance, man. So Efren, man, I want to, and Paul, did you see? Are you gonna pass or are you gonna watch it, man?
You know, the thing with me is, you know, I can't hate on Marvel. I like it that they're trying to reach different audiences. You know, the thing is that so they got a lot of content. You know, the thing with me is that, you know, it's not for everybody. you know, but I'm glad they came out with something like this. You know, the thing is that it's not my cup of tea. You know, I think if I had a little girl, I would definitely, you know, expose her to that, you know, because that, I mean, just what Dan said, I mean, that's a positive message. I mean, how can you hate on that? You know, but you know, the thing is, I'm not a Miss Marvel fan, and you know, when Doctor Strange came out, they had America Chavez. Yeah, I just don't collect those kind of comic books. Those aren't things that I'm into. But I don't hate on it though. I think it's great. I think it's great for the hobby. I think it's great for Marvel to put out that positive message. And like what you said about you know, finding things that are relatable. You know, like, and you know, I remember those times when I felt low. You know, like in junior high, I felt a little awkward trying to find my place, and yeah, everyone knows that feeling. So it's relatable.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I think it's relatable if you're a boy, a man, or a woman. You know.
Yeah, most definitely.
And Paul, that's okay, by the way, because even as in the day when, you know, in the 70s, the Bronze Age, when I was collecting, I didn't collect every comic. Not every story, not every writer, not every artist grabbed me. So I was very selective, and there's nothing wrong with that. Something I didn't like, maybe somebody else did. So there's nothing. Don't feel bad about if you didn't like it. That's totally fine.
Yeah, there's a lot of comic books. There's a lot of books that come out, you know, especially the moderns that I don't like. And Dan knows because we have the na part. And I'm like, hell no, I ain't touching that shit. You know what I'm saying?
It never gets old. I love that part.
But you know, it was someone when I got back into comic books, someone told me like I was at LCS and there was a young lady, and I was like, hey, what are you reading right now? She goes, why don't you try the Miss Marvel stuff? It's really the writer really has a good continuity in the writing of it, and it's pretty well written, and you know, like it's fun, and that's how I kind of got into her, man. And I read the America Chavez stuff, and that stuff sucks. Like, I won't even lie. Like, can people agree with me? Like, the America Chavez comic books, except for the last run that came out, like in last year, that run's decent. It's a really pretty good story, and it's not all. You know, like if you read the first America Chavez run, it's like the art sucks, the story doesn't make any sense, and it jumps everywhere. First she's human, then she's an alien. And you're like, what the hell's going on here? Like, it was a waste of life, man. But not the Miss Marvel comics; they were actually worth reading, and I'm glad that they're actually worth watching now. You know, I'm like, I can't wait to see her grow as a young woman in this, man. And I'm with you, Dan. She really reminds me of my niece. You know, my niece she's always struggled, like try to fit in. You know what I'm saying? And really reminded of her, man. And I think that's how we kind of relate to it. Like, you know, young ladies can relate to it, and us as you know, dads and uncles and aunts and moms and dads, you know, we can relate to it that way too. But yeah,
well, as a young man, that, you know, when you're picked on as a kid, it's one thing to be a boy, and I was literally the first in my family to have daughters. All my uncles, my brothers, all had boys. So when I had a daughter, I thought, oh my God, what do I do? What about a girl? And as they got older, I started to realize, because they would talk to me, that it's way worse if you're a girl and you're nerdy and you're picked on, and the dynamics of you know, what hierarchy regarding the structure, the social structure, and you sort of see it the very first episode here where she's ignored, she's sort of talked down to. And the sad thing is that, you know, my oldest daughter had to go through that. And again, she hated high school because of that sort of thing. Because again, she's a lovely woman, lovely young woman. She turned 30 this past Thursday, but she had to go through this very difficult time of. And it's sad that it's still happening. I had to go through it as a child, and I thought, God, have we gone through this? I mean, have we moved forward from this? Sadly, no, we haven't gone through that, because my daughter went through it. You know, and I'm just, again, I celebrated the Moonlight series because it had something to say. I'm now celebrating this series because it's a wonderful expression of young girls like this who have to go through some prejudice and some difficult times. So I'm looking forward to the next episode.
Yeah, and another part of this, too, is that both her parents are immigrants, and I can relate to that, man. You know, like
yeah,
my mom was immigrant, man, and it's like you know, they you got to think about like what, you know, as children of immigrants, they left everything wherever they came from and came here with nothing and built something, and they're like, just don't screw up what I built for you. I came to this country and did all this hard work for you, and I think that's what her mom's trying to tell her. You know, like you gotta, you know, your family. This is you got to think about, you know, your story, your family, and you, right? You know, like it's a good. I highly suggest it, man. Give it a chance, man. Because if you read the comics, man, and if you played the video game, Miss Marvel becomes the leader of the Avengers eventually. You know what I'm saying? And even in the Champions, if you're like, you know, specking on the Champion stuff, man, you know, she's always been a leader. So there's a reason why they're pumping her, man. You know, like, you know, it's in, but it's even though they're pumping her, yeah, they are. But it's a good show, man. I like the first episode, and hopefully the second and third will be good too, man.
Let's just wait until Miles shows up. When Miles shows up, man. Ooh,
oh, it's over, bro. When Miles shows up, bro, like we forget about everything else, man. All right, man. And F, man, you want to talk about Not Near Mint, man? We're gonna be there. I'm gonna be there on July 3rd, and Nando's gonna be there. We all got booth. You got a booth, Nando?
I'll be working with my really good friends and crew called the Comic Cave, alongside the table with Fuzzy and the Fat Man Comics and Ray's Comics and Collectibles at Near Mint. So they are humbling, allowing me to sit at their table and get my first taste of convention work for myself to get myself out there a little bit more on it. So this will be my first time actually selling some stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so if you guys haven't seen here, it's going to be on July 3rd from 10 to 3 at the Brookhurst Community Center in Orange County. So it's in Anaheim. F, man, tell us about it, man. Tell us about it. We were all there. That's kind of where we all kind of met up with the gang.
So the first one was about 3 months ago, right, Ian? I think it was about 3 months ago.
It's a long time ago.
And out of the blue, I just decided to go. And then I've seen Ian there. I've seen Alexi there. I've seen some other people there. And it was so much fun. It reminded me of back in the day when I was a kid. I used to go to conventions like in hotel rooms. And it was just comic books, wall-to-wall vendors. And that was it. It had that same vibe. It was a good atmosphere. It's at a rec center. And I didn't know any of you guys were going to be vendors there, man. I would have put my name down for vendors too. But I'm going to crash all you guys. And I expect a discount from who's ever there vendoring. It's just a good old school vibe. I really liked it, and I'm going to the next one. I think the next one after that, I think they already talked about it. It's going to be in November or December. I don't know.
Okay.
Ian, do you know the name of the guy who's doing all this?
It's CJ.
Okay.
CJ. Yep.
So he just got all this together, and like I said, it's in Anaheim. You know, most of us live in San Diego. I drove about an hour and a half away, and it was so worth it. I mean, it was worth it, man. Good atmosphere and good vibe. You know, anybody that's in the Southern California, I really, you know, you should go. I mean, you won't be disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, I suggest that. I mean, it's totally worth it. If you live somewhere near Lancaster all the way to Chula Vista, you should go. You should go. It's like it was super overwhelming. I mean, was it overwhelming for you too, F? Yeah, I walked in there. It's free. It's free too for.
I know it's free.
It's free for
free
you to
parking
walk in and buy. It's free parking, and dude, it was like there were so many vendors and so many like
50.
Long boxes and short boxes and everything else, dude. I walked in there. I had to walk out. I was in there for 10 minutes. I had to walk out for like 5 minutes. I was like, dude, there's too many comic books here, bro. I've never seen this in my life. You know, like I wasn't there when Dan and Efren, those old school ones were just comic books. But we have a small one here in San Diego that's kind of like Not Near Mint. But this one is like 10 times bigger, right, Efren? Like it's just crazy. And there's good deals too. Like everybody's kind of trying to, you know, sell their books and get, you know, rid of some books or whatever. And you know, you can make really good deals, man. You can make really good deals. So
you know what I liked about it too? Everybody was just, you could feel the camaraderie there. You know, everybody was getting along. You know, I was seeing people, like when I seen you guys, when I ran into you guys, it was just a good feeling, you know. So I really enjoyed it. I plan to go again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not telling you to go because I'm selling there, because I am just selling a bunch of $2 books. You go to my booth, like 90% of the books can be like $2, and I'm splitting it with Comic Book Crackhead. So he's but Javin, man, Javin's gonna bring some heat. So I'll have the $2 books, and that's why I'm like, Ja, you sell the heat, I'll sell the cheap books, and then we'll get them all in here, man.
I'll bring the lukewarm books. There we go.
Yeah, I'll bring the lukewarm books, and they're gonna buy all your heat. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's gonna be a fun time, man, and it's not that far off the 5. It's like not even like 2 minutes off the 5. It's like directly off the 5, right? Like super easy to get to. And then you can come to lunch with us at the Chinese place that we went to. Yeah, Ja took us to this Chinese place that's like it's Islamic Chinese food. And dude, I never heard about it, but that place was good, man.
So this is July 3rd, huh?
Yeah. You want to come?
Sunday.
You want to roll with me, Paul?
Yeah, I'm going with you guys.
I'll be there like all day, and then we'll just be chilling, bro. You can chill in our booth, All
right, sounds good. Yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah, drive to my house, because you have to go into 15 anyway, north.
Yeah.
And then start my place, we'll go. We'll have fun, man. Yeah, we're gonna have a good time, man, and not near Mint. So it's a really good vibe. CJ, man, I mean, it starts with the person who kind of like puts it together, and CJ is just such a welcoming person with a multitudes of aloha, man. And he just like kind of spreads it to everybody, and everybody like just has fun and gets along, man. I was like, it's gonna be a good time, man. But last but not least, man, let's talk a little bit about the Big Daddy. The Big Daddy. I think everyone want to talk about the Big Daddy. Let me talk to Dad first, man. You know about San Diego Comic-Con, right?
I haven't been actually.
Have you ever heard of it? Have you ever heard of it?
Oh yeah, I've heard of it. Okay. I've seen it all. I'm actually not going this year. MegaCon, it took a lot out of me. But I am going to Heroes Con, so
nice.
Yeah, I'll be able to. I got Avengers Annual 10, the first appearance of Rogue, and I'm gonna get that signed by Chris Claremont in Heroes Con. So
nice.
Let me reply to Hyper Combo, who said he wishes he lived in California. No, you don't. We surpassed $7 a gallon here in California.
Yeah, we did.
Stay away from California. Save yourself, Hyper. Save yourself.
Yeah.
Dude, Dan, I went to I filled up my tank today, yesterday, and I looked at the gas prices and I was like, fuck. And on the other side, the guy was like, fuck at the same time. And we looked over and we looked at each other and we were like, fuck. Yeah,
dude, I've got a 26-gallon tank on my my Dodge Ram pickup, and I was ready to dance a jig when I go into the Safeway, and you get $1 off if you save enough points. So I filled up like $5 a gallon. I was like huge. I'm like wanted to again have a party right there because I'm 26 gallons. That's a $26 savings. Obviously, it's an absolute joke. And the sad thing is, the reports are we're going to be passing $8 to $9 a gallon here in California,
heard, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to go around, man, to the California guys. So before all this crap, it would cost me $31 to fill up my tank. Now it costs me $72. Effort. How about you, man? What is it now for you, bro? What was it before and now?
It was always about between $30 and $40. And to be honest with you, right now, every time I try to go to Costco, but you always seem to have cheaper gas there. And I'm retired basically, so I just put like $20 at a time. And I said, I'm not putting more than $20. I don't want to see what it's at. One time I filled it was like about between $70 and $80. That's when I was going to Star Wars celebrations, so I had to fill up my tank. But I usually just put $20. I said, screw it, I don't want to see this, man. So
I do the same. Same.
Nando, tell me how much you pay. Go. Let the folks know about California gas prices, bro.
Okay, so I drive 128 miles a day.
Oh,
damn, bro. Shit.
So I fill up my tank every 3.5 days, and my 18.5 gallon tank that gets me about 530 miles a fill up. Yeah. I when people start talking about gas and mileage and stuff like that, I kind of just sit in the back and I just kind of giggle to myself while I pour myself a better whiskey. But it's
Paul,
like right now. I think the most recent fill up. I think it was like I didn't fill it all the way up because I didn't need to. But if I was to fill up my tank right now, I think Costco was $5.89. I think I was doing the math, and I think we were looking about $118 for a full tank.
Jesus, no, bro. Costco's around $6.10 now. So
yeah, it was $5.89 this morning when we looked at it this morning.
Paul, how much you paying, bro?
Well, the thing is that, my wife and I, we usually let our car run down to empty, and I don't get out anything less than $100. It's like $100 plus.
What?
Easy.
Dang.
Yeah, I know. I got an SUV. My wife has a Beamer, and yeah, it's expensive. And that's the thing. I think, right now it's especially with collectibles. People have, they got to buy, food and gas, and they don't have as much money to, spend on like comic books and stuff. And yeah, it's rough.
Bro,
Dude, you guys know when you go to Carl's Jr. and you would see like the 2 for $5, 2 for $6 kind of like double thing. It was 2 for $10.
Oh man!
What?
And I was like,
wow.
My wife
was a deal.
Yeah, she was like 2 for $10, and she was like, aren't those like the $6 burgers? I'm like, there are no $6 burgers anymore. They're all that price. And she looks at me, she goes, oh, that's because they are all that price nowadays.
No, that's the McDonald's. That's the McDonald's meter for inflation, man. You gotta kind of count that in. Dabs, how much you paying, bro, over there in South Carolina?
So I drive a little small car, Kia Rio, and I'm like Ian. I just fill up like $20 at a time, but it only takes like $30 to fill up my little Kia.
You're
and
lucky, bro. You listening to us like you guys are crazy, bro. Like,
yeah, we was joking on some girl in our class, and she's trying to she's transitioning out of the military, and she wants to move back to Cali, and everybody was laughing at her, said, "Man, nah, don't do that."
All right, Dan. You said how much you had to pay already, right?
I did, but here's the cool thing, though. I've got a 2014 Dodge Ram pickup. She's 2.5 tons, 400 horsepower, but the way it's designed is that it scales down to what's called an eco mode. So I'm getting upwards of 30 miles a gallon on the highway with that big beast with all that horsepower. It's a really nice design. And I mention that because a lot of people are thinking about going electric. Electric is very limited. And, the electric grid is going to be very, very tapped. I mean, I think they should go down the road with what my truck's design is. It's very smartly made. It has the power when you need it or the gas mileage when you need it. So that's moving forward. We're going to have to, think out of the box.
Mm-hmm.
Chevy has something similar with their flex fuel concepts. The flex fuel concept is the gas is like put in a different position and how it's like thrown in, so it makes it a little easier on your mileage, and it's cheaper at the tank even. I think certain gas stations have it, and it's almost like $1.10, $1.20 less than what you're seeing in average right now.
Man, I always think like this, man. I mean, this is my logic. This is my logic about gas. I think if you put in about 3/4, you would save a lot more money than putting full, because if you put more gas into your car, it's heavier, right? So you're using a lot more energy and a lot more gas to move it. So if you have a little bit less gas in your car, then you should be able to use little less gas than if it was full. Is my logic dumb? I mean,
no,
I've been thinking about that.
I like it.
Because I was thinking about that. Maybe I should go half full all the time, because then I can use, I'm not putting so much weight in my car. Because that's one thing I did. I had a bunch of crap in the back of my car because I surf, and I'm like, oh man, I don't need this shit half the time. So I emptied up my back, and I got like 30 more miles in a gallon. So I was thinking maybe I should go half tank now, half tank.
You know where we're going? We're going old Flintstones with the feet. He has activate. That's his power to move his vehicle, right? No engine, no nothing. So it's all going to be manually propelled.
I don't know, man. I just I had to cut. I'll be honest. I had to cut half my new comic book day because I need $100 more gas for a month.
There you go.
It's just there's other places that are going to hurt. But let me see. So Hyper said, let me rephrase. I wish I lived in California during con season. And then Rob goes, which is going to be more this summer? Yep, gallon of gas or a gallon of water?
That's a good question.
That's a good question, man. That's a good question. That's hard, man, because I have plants in the front of my house, and I'm like, you guys are gonna suffer a little bit too. You guys, instead of getting like that 4 minutes, you guys are gonna get 2 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, this cascades to everything though too. I mean, think about it. Everything that you buy and consume is transported, when mostly through diesel, and diesel is more expensive than the gasoline, and that also includes your comic books, because again, those comics, if you buy off eBay or wherever else, whatnot, they're going to be transported. So those transportation costs are going to probably double.
I mean, I don't see how they're not. They're losing money, especially U.S. The post office. If they're still using the same price, I mean, they raise their prices like by $1 anyway, so they're catching up with inflation. And we're getting screwed, kind of. You know what I'm saying? So Rob says the electric grid is tapped now with water disappearing behind the dams. So and then let me see here, Rudy, man. Rudy goes, Ian, Paul, I'm gonna invite you both to Santee for lunch on a weekend. Yo, man. You should, man. Rudy got some big pool too, Paul. I've been to his pool, man. We can have a big old pool party there.
He lives in Santee, and they got this place called Mr. Birria. They have the dopest, man, birria tacos.
Oh, I've been kind of into birrias lately, bro. I went to this birria here in near my house in San Marcos. It's this little bro. It's this little. It's right by the new Costco. They have this big old Costco, right? This business Costco. Man, it's pretty good, dude. It's not bad, man.
Ian, before we forget, totally a total aside question. Paul, can we big screen Paul? I got a question for you, Paul.
Sure.
I've noticed in your back wall, you've got a 1992 All-Star Game patch. Is that the actual patch, by the way?
It's actually a banner.
A banner. Did you go to the All-Star Game in 1992?
I did not. I was just a kid.
Oh, okay. Because that was the second All-Star Game I went to, and I was at Jack Murphy Stadium when it was still there.
Yeah, Jack Murphy, man.
And Greg Maddox was pitching, and the National League lost. Oh yeah, that was when Mark McGwire, during the home run derby, was just blasting home run after home run. That's before the steroid thing. But I was curious if you'd gone to that, because that was the one and only time I was in. I'm sorry, that was the one and only time I was in San Diego.
The what? The what?
The one and only time I was in San Diego.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah.
But Dan, you got to come here for this, man. So let's talk a little bit about San Diego Comic-Con, man. Before we bounce, Efren, man, what have you been seeing, man, around San Diego Comic-Con? Because I haven't been keeping up. I've been super busy, man.
Well, there's this website called Unofficial Blog. Maybe we can put the link on later on.
Okay.
Ian. And that's where.
I'll do it right now.
That's the place where you want to see what's coming up at San Diego Comic-Con. They're not affiliated with Comic-Con per se, but they always have up-to-date information. And as it gets closer, we're still about 40 days away. Once we get to about 3 weeks away, you're going to see all of the vendors who are going to be showing off their wares. Like new comic books are coming out, or new posters or toys from Mattel and Hasbro and Lego. They're going to be coming out left and right with all the exclusives, so to speak. And once it gets closer and closer, they call it San Diego Comic-Con. But to be honest with you, comic books have a small little corner at the convention. It's like it's 10% comic book, I would say, and that's it.
It's not a comic convention, man. It's San Diego Comic-Con. Unfortunately, it's a toy movie star convention, and we got someone else that's going right there. James is in the house, man. James is going to be with us over there.
If you've never gone, I would recommend going at least one time in your life. It's a different experience, It's like it's just like the granddaddy of them all.
And there's where the info is. That if you go to their blog and just scroll back to March, you'll find every exclusive you want, man.
Yep.
Like they are the Bible of San Diego Comic-Con. That's where I go to make my list. And they even have the panel stuff too. What panels are going on and everything else.
Yep.
But yeah, man. I don't know, man. Ever since we haven't had it in 3 years? Is it 3 years?
3 years.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not as excited for it anymore. I don't know if I'm over it or I'm just like I moved on in my life, man. But I'll be there for sure. I just, right now I would have been helping my group get together with our list, and I haven't done that yet. And I would be taking notes on all the. I would have a whole spreadsheet of all the exclusives, and I don't even have that. So I think I'm just gonna be a fan, man. And if we can get in as press, I'm gonna be just doing a lot of interviews.
Well, in the defense of comic sellers that go to these cons, the tables are so damn expensive.
Yep.
So you're going to have fewer and fewer of those people, sadly, because these cons are asking way too much for just a one little table, and the time, the trouble, the cost to go to set up that thing. The comic tables are going to the wayside.
You know what? One of my the LCSs is one of our close friends. I'm not going to say his name, but Paul knows who he is. It's Paul's LCS, and I talked to him, and I was like, "Are you gonna get a booth there?" And what he told me is like it costs more for a booth than his rent at his shop. I was like, he's like, why do I need to go and do all that stuff, man? Like people are gonna come to my shop anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's like $5,000 to $6,000 for a booth there, man. So I don't know if people are gonna make their money back selling comics. I mean,
so think about this though. If that's the cost of this, and let's say I set up a small little booth with my collection here, I basically have to sell either my Avengers 4 or my Tales of Suspense 39 just to break even. I'm not gonna do it.
Not worth it. Not worth it. I love San Diego Comic-Con. Don't get me wrong, I'm not hating it. I mean, I love it. It's like Christmas in San Diego in July, all the time for us in San Diego. But if I was a comic book fan and I wanted to buy comics, I would go. If I can get it here, if it'll work, I'd rather go here, right?
Yep.
I'd rather go here and spend all your money on comics and then go enjoy San Diego Comic-Con as a fan, because you are not going to. Not near Mint will have 10 times the booths of comics that San Diego Comic-Con will, because it's like a small little effort. It's like a small fraction. It's like not even a quarter. It's like, dude, it's such a I mean, I'm gonna say it, man. I hope San Diego Comic-Con don't hate me. It's such a disgrace, man. It's a Comic Con, and it's only like 15% of the floor is dedicated to comics. But we got the Marvel booth there. We got the DC booth. We got all the major booths there. But to buy comics there, to find comics, you're either gonna pay through the roof or you're just not gonna find them, man. I heard Mile High's not even gonna be there anymore. That's what I heard. Mile's like, we're gonna. It's not a Comic-Con anymore, so we're not gonna go. So. But
Mile High, I did hear, is going to be at Torpedo though. So Torpedo Con is the weekend before Comic-Con, and that's still more of a semblance of an actual like comic convention. Like they have their artists set up booths and they'll have their packages you can do for artists, but it's more about the comics and that. I mean, granted, Torpedo has a higher price point because of the name and John's product that he puts out there with the image of the brand. But I mean, you can't knock the artists that are going to be there. I think they just added Mike Mayhew to its list right now, and I mean, it's like, I think it was like what, $65 for a ticket for a full weekend. So I mean, you get the 2 days. It's only 2 days. It's in Hollywood. It's the Palladium. I mean, and you have a better chance of doing that. I mean, Alex Sinclair is always there. Jim Lee does a drop in. Frank Miller was there last year. So I mean, you have opportunity to see some big wigs, but it is more of a Comic Con than San Diego is.
Yep. Bill Sinkovich is going to be there too. That's kind of tempted me to go, man.
We have that
and CGC. CGC's drop booth is there too. So I mean, anytime you can get a drop booth to actually physically hand over your stuff to CGC and get it done, to me, it's a more of an enticer to do that.
Yep.
See, I think the better value is the smaller cons. Like we have San Jose Comic Con in the Bay Area. I hope to take Kirk with me, when that comes up again. But you get some big names. It's affordable, and you get some comics. You get a whole variety of things. San Diego, I mean, it's become too big for its own good.
It has, man. And I'll tell you what, man. If you want to come to San Diego Comic-Con, you're gonna. For me, so Efren's gonna laugh and Paul are, because I'm not in Escondido, right? So I'm like 45 minutes away. So I was just like, I'm not trying to drive, bro. So I got a hotel really close, so I already dropped $1,500 to go to San Diego Comic-Con, and I live in San Diego. because that's how much the hotel is going to cost me the whole time. So,
Expensive.
yeah. Speaking, but me and my wife and my nephew flies down from up north, so it's kind of like we loved it. Like we're good with it. We're good with like spending the money to stay close. But yeah, I mean, I'm with Dan, and Efren and Nando, man, like and Rob here, who goes, small town cons are much better, man.
Yes,
You could find find deals, and you could find people slipping. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know, Efren. Remember at San Diego Comic Fest, we remember the guy was looking through what's it called, the what was it called, Dan? The old one, the street guide, right? The
Overstreet.
Yeah, the guy was looking through Overstreet at at San Diego Comic Fest, and me, Job, who was with me? It was me, Efren, and Paul. Right, yeah. Paul? Remember? We're like, oh, we're gonna go there. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna go there, man. Yeah. I looked at Paul, and Paul's like, I said, that guy's looking through Overstreet, bro.
Dude, his the comic boxes, it smelled like, what did it smell like? It smelled like rat piss. Is that what
you're saying? Cat litter, bro. It's cat
litter. They smelled bad. The boxes, they were all like brown and yellow, and they were like falling apart. But man, no, it was crazy. He had some good books. I mean, they were in the best condition. But yeah, when he broke at that Overstreet, man, we were all over that.
Yeah, it was like an Overstreet party, man. It was an Overstreet party but you're not gonna find that at San Diego Comic-Con, because people that can afford to go there are not bringing cheap books. You're not finding dollar bins or $2 bins. You're gonna be paying premium prices for those books. I mean, they have to pay for their booth. Their booth is costing them like $6,000, man. Like around that range, it's crazy. So hey, Dan got the Dan. Are you selling some stuff at your house right now, bro?
No, I'm looking at this is the latest Overstreet guide. I'm looking to see what my Tales of Suspense 39 would be at this guy's booth. It would be, oh dear God, no, it can't be $1,900 for a 2.0. No, that's insane.
I think that his Overstreet was not even that. Was not even that.
It wasn't an up-to-date one.
It was like the 80s, 90s,
but
dude.
Think about it, though. You check out our show on Monday that we talked about CGC, and the bombshell was dropped a couple weeks ago. Before CGC, this was your Bible. You never went anywhere comic shopping without this particular book, because this was so reliable. Now that CGC has gone to the wayside, and I personally don't trust them, who are you going to trust now? Overstreet, CBCS, which doesn't have a anywhere near the interwovenness of CGC regarding the marketplace. So who's going to be the arbiter of what is what? Yeah.
No, I'm going to actually post that up next week, Dan's Corner, because Dan really talked to if you haven't watched the Monday Night Jive and Dan segment, just fast forward and go to Dan's segment, because Dan spoke for the whole community, man. And I felt the same way about CGC and what they're doing to us, man.
I appreciate it, but let me correct you here. Do not fast forward. That whole show, the entire panel is dynamite. I love being, this is my home now with Ian's channel and these very, very wonderful people here. So watch the entire show. It's extremely educational, entertaining, and informative.
Hey, but Dan, Hyper says he got someone you can trust. Look, check it out, man.
I love Hyper, man. He is one of the best friends you could possibly have.
And check it out, Hyper. I want to read. I picked up a clean copy of Avengers 10.
Yeah. That's nice, dude. I just picked one up too, Hyper. I got one too.
Was the guy reading Overstreet, bro? Come on, tell us, Hyper. Was it Overstreet, man? Because man. If I see Overstreet, I'm just a shark, man. Like I see Overstreet, I'm going to that booth. It's over, man. Hey, James says if he wants you to fire up that Mortal Kombat, man. You know what I'm saying? So,
heck yeah.
And CGC is an entity that has too much power. That's what Dan talked about. Exactly, man. Dan talked about. But yeah, we're looking forward to San Diego Comic-Con. We're actually going to do a show here. Efren. Should we tell them about what you're doing, what show you're doing for San Diego Comic-Con, that that I think is awesome, or do you want to leave it like as is right now until we put it
the
together?
one we're going to different. We're picking our favorite places to go eat.
Yep, that one, man.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for Godly to do his video, man. Me, Godly, and Ian, we're each picking 2 places to go eat during San Diego Comic-Con. We filmed 2/3 of it already, and we're still just waiting for Alexi to do his 2 picks. But yeah, probably do it about 2 weeks before Comic-Con starts.
Yeah, we were on site too. We went to the restaurants, man.
Yeah.
And Efren, did you get a free hot dog out of yours, bro?
Nah, I had to pay for my hot dog. I went to Paul. You ever go to Barrio Dog?
I've heard of it. I have not.
It's a really good. That was one of my picks. Barrio Dog is in Barrio Logan. It's a really good
Barrio
place to
Logan.
eat hot dogs. Yeah. But
Yeah,
that
Barrio
video
Logan
is going
has
to be
good
coming out in about 2 weeks. I got to talk to Alexi to do his 2 picks for that. Yeah, so that's coming up on my channel one of these weeks.
And Dan, I want to tell you this, Dan. So Dan, if I qualify for press this year, I mean, me and Efren signed up, right? So we qualified for WonderCon. We're hopefully we can qualify for San Diego Comic-Con next year. I'll have an extra. They'll give me another one for my a person on my podcast, and I want you to have it and come down. You know what I'm saying?
For 2023.
Yeah, 2023.
I will save my pennies to I'd love to take that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you got to save your money, man, because I don't know what our plans are for 2023, but if I'm at my house, you can crash at our house and then ride up with us. But if we get a hotel, then that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, but if I have to sell my truck just to go to Comic-Con in San Diego, I don't see the value in that.
Bro, the airline ticket will probably be $1,000 to fly from San Francisco to San Diego because inflation and gas prices, right? Like it's gonna be nuts, man.
Yeah, but keep in mind though, I mean, I'm a very, very old collector. I was collecting, before most of you guys were alive. And so I literally have my own comic shop here. I kind of don't need to go anywhere. I'd love to go. Don't get me wrong, but it's like, given where we are in the world and how I know politics more than anything else, way more than comic books. I think it's going to be very bad by this time next year, and I'll probably, like many of us, just very. It's almost. I told my wife, I said, look, it's almost like we are in the Depression, and we have to count our pennies, look for sales. Mm-hmm. So, I don't want to stop buying comics, but still, you got to be very, very careful moving forward because it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better.
Yep. Well, yep. And we are in a recession. People just don't know it, man.
True.
But yeah, that's San Diego Comic-Con. Look out for my show. I think we'll do it a week before, Efren. Like the Wednesday before. And we'll just and it's gonna be me, Efren, Paul. If you want to jump on too, because I know you've been, and Godly's gonna be on there. So you have like over. I mean, I've been going to San Diego Comic-Con for 12 years now. So I have 12. Efren, how many years you been going, bro?
God, it's gonna be like my 30th year, 31st year.
So that's almost 55 years. And how about you, Paul?
I haven't gone consecutively, but I've been like probably 15 times.
Oh damn, bro, we're almost at 70 years now, bro. And you add Godly, we're gonna have like almost like 100 years of experience of San Diego Comic-Con. And the thing about San Diego Comic-Con, if you haven't been, you need I'm gonna see if James wants to get on too. James, holler us at the chat, man, if you want to be on, because you want as much advice as you can, because San Diego Comic-Con is a beast, man. There's a system to it, and it's crazy. So you're gonna want to try to get as much advice, and we'll try to give you as much advice as possible, especially with the line, how the lines are configured. You want to make sure if you're going to Hall H, you want to make sure you're in that right line. If you want to get to Ballroom 20, you want to make sure you're in that line. If you want to get the exclusives and go on the exhibit floor, you want to be in that. There's it's crazy, man. Just to get in the lines, you have to know where to go. Like if you go in the wrong, you could go there on Wednesday and get in line, and you're in the wrong line. You've been waiting for 36 hours for in the wrong line. You want to make sure. I'm gonna take actual grid shots of it so I can show you where the lines will be. Because it's that complex. It's crazy.
Yeah, you definitely need a game plan.
You gotta have a game plan, right, Efren? If you don't have a game plan, it's like
You gotta have a game plan. You gotta have patience. Man, there's so many things that can go wrong. I'm not saying that it's not worth it, but you gotta have patience when you go to a place like San Diego Comic-Con, because sometimes you may be waiting in line for hours to get this one exclusive, and by the time you get there, they're sold out.
Yep.
So you just gotta have patience, and just if something doesn't work your way at Comic-Con, just move on to the next thing.
Especially that Lego line. That Lego line, that Lego figure line. I'm telling you, man, like the Lego figure line. If you can get all 4 of those Lego figures, it'll pay for your hotel room. I'm serious. It'll pay. People will pay $300 for that little figure, that little Legoland figure. It's like this big. It's like that big, and it's like
2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches,
like that big or whatever, that big.
2 inches. That's literally the actual size of a Lego minifigure.
Wasn't
2 inches.
Lego that one time, Ian, at Comic-Con where you have to press a button and you got the Lego, you didn't? I just watched Costco. Damn it! You spent like 2 hours waiting in this line, and I pushed a button. You don't get one. I went.
Yeah, it's a red. So you waited 2 lines for that line, and then you got to press the iPad. It's either red or green. Yeah. And then it's like you waited 2 hours for nothing. So, but Nando, you want to be on the show because you are a Lego expert, but you can't say much, but you can just fill us in. You know what I'm saying? Because
I can do my best.
You can do your best to fill us in. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, you want to jump on that show too, man?
Sure.
All right. Yeah, we're gonna have look at this, man. We're gonna have a ton of people for y'all, man. This might be the best damn SCCC prep show ever. You know what I'm saying? So that'd be on the Wednesday before Comic-Con, man. So we'll
hashtag it.
We'll hashtag the best damn San Diego Comic-Con tip show ever. And then before we bounce, man, Monday Night Comic Jive, me and Dan are on this. We do this show, and guest. I didn't tell you, Dan, right? Our guest for the next show is going to be this guy, Efren.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Efren's going to be on with us, man. So that next show is going to be on the 20th, June 20th, man. But before we go, man, thank you guys. I want to say thank you guys for jumping on with me again. Thank you for letting me bump it up a half hour to watch the Warriors lose. You know what I'm saying? So we should have went at an 8, I know. But listen, let everybody know where they can find you guys.
I'm on YouTube, Past Point One Comics. I'm on Instagram, already posting all the time, just pictures and just having a good time and meeting good people like yourselves. I was told, Ian, one of the best things about collecting comic books in social media now is I get to meet people where I would not normally meet, and I consider that a blessing.
Yep. And then, yeah, man, I consider you my comic uncle. When I saw you had that amazing fantasy, bro, I was like, okay, you're my uncle, bro. I'm not even close. Man. Nando, where can they find you, bro?
Usually just everything's on Instagram for me. It's at the Nando Night, where I'm usually trying to post up everything I can to wave the banner flag of DC, since everybody wants to bury it, so I'm the only one doing it. So actually that's where I'm at. And same thing like Efren said, we've the community is super inclusive, and it's very fun to have a part of something like what this is right now. It's just really fun, and it's getting to meet you guys at conventions, shows, near mint, things like that. It's been awesome. So it's a really good thing.
Yep, man. And look, F, he said yes, Uncle Efren and Uncle Dan, bro, for reals, bro, for reals, man. And then Paul, where can they find you, bro? And you got a YouTube show too, man. I'm gonna put over here for everybody to sub you up.
Yeah, I got a YouTube channel, Paul the 619. I talk comic books. We play some Dungeons and Dragons on there, and then once in a while I'll throw in some pro wrestling stuff. It's stuff I like. I'm also on Instagram. Same thing, Paul the 619. And I've been doing this for little under 2 years, and man, it's just so much fun, and I really appreciate Hood letting me be on his channel and to hang out with these guys. All these guys are cool. And it's just fun, just rapping about stuff that's going out, like Star Wars, comic books, events that are coming up, like that one that you guys are talking about in Orange County. I didn't know about that until I came here. So I mean, you just learn stuff. So I really enjoy it. So yeah, and Dan's the man.
Dan is the man, bro. Dan's the man. And then hey, Hyper said, Paul, me and you should do a wrestling chop up at some point.
Shit!
Yeah.
Down, Hyper.
And then Daz, man, where can they find you, bro? They can find you right here. Bam.
Yeah, you guys can find me here. You can find me on YouTube. I do like comic book previews. You can find me also on Instagram, why I pick my issues that I read and then I review them, as well as TikTok, where I rant about certain TV shows that I like and don't like.
Hey man, give Daz a follow. Man, he's out there protecting our country and protecting our our freedom, man. He's out there in North Carolina, bro. Give him a sub and a follow, man.
I really appreciate that. Thanks, Hoodrat, for having me on, and as well, finally get to meet the legendary Dan. It's an honor. I gotta meet Ja though, so I'm gonna come back on the show one of these days so I can be on here with Ja. So,
hey, and I think Ja. Wait, is Ja's here, bro? Like,
is he?
Ja, you here, bro?
Wow, Ja, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, I've been here listening, man. I just been in the background.
Oh, that's crazy.
What's up, my brother?
What's up?
What's up, man? What's good?
What's up? Let me see if I can get my camera going here. Hold on.
There you go, man. I barely saw you, bro. I didn't see you.
There's my brother.
What's going on, everyone?
Damn.
What's up, Dad?
What's going on, bro?
What's going on? I see you got that Kobe in the back. Oh,
hey. You see, yeah. Kobe, Yeah.
Hey, we missed you, John, man. Sorry, man. I just saw you right now in the back room. I was like,
it's okay. No, it's okay.
Yeah,
it's all good.
Oh, I like that Kobe print written back. That's tight.
Yeah,
love it.
Man. Hey, I sent you guys a little story about the Warriors and how Boston or the rim for the Warriors was not
what?
10 feet. Yeah, tonight's game. Yeah. So just check out your DMs, man.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Wow.
So what do they do? What's the NBA doing about that shit, bro? Like,
I don't know. They measured it after the game or something, and it wasn't 10 feet.
No, wait a minute. Hold on a second here. So the New England Patriots have deflated footballs.
Yep.
And now the Boston Celtics have slightly skewed rims for their basketball.
Oh.
Something's wrong with Boston. There should be an investigation.
Dan has not said truer words all episode. Something is wrong with Boston.
Something's wrong with Boston, bro. Wow. What's going on with dude? Are they seriously, bro? Seriously, bro. Like Boston, come on, man. Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Have you guys watched Winning yet on HBO?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, Dan, it's the best. I don't hate the Lakers, but I'm not a Laker fan, but I'm kind of a Laker fan now because I watched Winning. It was so good, man. And the whole hit. No one has anything good to say about Boston, bro. Like, I'm sorry if you are a Boston Celtics fan. You guys have a bad rep, bro. Like, it's the worst rep in NBA, man.
They're talking, the guy that played Larry Bird.
Yeah, bro. That dude looked like Larry Bird, bro.
Yeah,
like,
I didn't know he was a dick like that, though. If that shit was true, he wasn't. I was like, oh shit.
It was probably exaggerated, though, right? That whole thing was
there's truth. There's a little bit of truth in all of that. There's a little bit of truth, and there's some exaggeration, and then you got to remember it's secondhand storytelling. So there's a little bit of embellishment everywhere, but again, Boston sucks.
F Boston, bro. F Boston. Man.
Yeah. What's the fudge? It's the Wednesday night fudge, right? So it's a fudge Boston. That's what we're saying. Yeah.
Fudge Boston, bro. Fudge Boston, man. Look like brother. The rim needs to be 12 feet, bro. Hey, we got Swaggle in the house, man. What's up, Swaggle, man? Thank you for stopping.
Swaggle Haas, love you, man.
I mean, we are only an all-star panel because of this, man, bro. That's all, man. This is what makes us an all-star panel. Go ahead, Dan. I'm serious, Dan. Like, I'm so blessed to have you on on any of my shows, bro. Like, you bring another level to any show that you're on. I'm serious.
Look,
I'm keeping it real.
I'm honored, but the problem is in the morning my head gets so swelled, my wife has to push me out the door so I can go to work. So again, I'm not smarter than anybody else. I'm just old, and I've learned so much over the decades and now centuries that I've been in existence. And I love to give to my community. I love this comic book community like no other. And I found a home with you, Ian. The show that we produce every 2 weeks. You know, we were teasing the Star Wars people that they're not putting a lot of effort into the content. We do put effort into that content, and when those shows are produced, it's not something off the cuff. We've thought about it, we've rehearsed it. We want to give something that's informative. We want to give something that's interesting, and we want to make you think about the hobby that you're in. So again, Ian, I'm eternally grateful for all you've done and the home you've given me. So I can't thank you enough.
Hey man, I'm just John Stockton, man, passing it to you guys, man. You know, because I just throw the assist, man. Dan, Jaw, Kirk, Nando, Efren, Paul, Dab, bro. You guys really bring a lot of so much to what my channel, man. Like it's
but Ian, you're the man behind the scene here. You're the coordinator, and you're the one who set this whole thing up. So none of this would have happened without you.
That's true.
No, man. But
I'm just a water boy. Yeah.
Bro.
Just a water boy.
No, man.
He said John Stockton. I was telling myself, I'm looking around the table going like, okay, who was the guy on the starting five that was like kind of bad? And I was like, oh, I guess I'll take Antoine Carr's role on that one. Sure, why not? I'll do that.
Yeah, man. But and I want to thank you guys all for joining in, man. And Hyper, I want to see Hyper. You know, you always got to highlight a Hyper comment because Hyper really thinks about his comments before he makes them, man. So he said,
He does.
Boston is a bitter rival in our city despite eating Boston cream donuts. I eat that with shame. And then he said, Boston cream donuts are the bomb, bro. That's what Paul said. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, James is right, man. Dan is a comic book broadcaster, man. Like your segment, I'm serious, man. Your segment is probably the best segment on comic YouTube, man. Like super informative, a lot of rich history and
super informative,
and your own like warmth to it too. You know, like it's like it is, man. It's probably the. I mean, would we agree, Dan? Efren, you've been doing this for a long time. Dan's segment is like.
It's good. Put it this way, Dan. When I'm watching your video, when I watch you guys on Monday, I'm usually, doing all kinds of different stuff. But when your segment comes on, I stop and I pay attention to what you say. I mean, because your knowledge is just, I really like the way you talk, basically, and the way all the information you give out, man. It's so good. I really appreciate it.
Well, see, if you're taking that kind of time to look at myself or Ian or anything that we produce, I want to make certain that your time is valued. That you get something out of it here, and I just have the luxury of I've got 20 years of radio broadcasting behind me. I'm not a radio star, but more of a personality, but I have that sort of background, and I put it into the content because again, I recognize that if I'm watching it, would I be entertained? Would I be informed? And that's what I put behind the particular broadcast.
Mm-hmm. And then Hyper says right here, man, he says. Dan is our Stephen Hawkins for comics. That's what James says right there. For reals, man. And then Hyper says, you guys clearly have the passion for the hobby. That's why I dig your content, man. I think, for me, man, it's like you guys have a passion for life too. It's just not,
that's true.
For me, it's like when I ask people to be on, it's like you have this. Everybody has their own passion for life. It's outside of comics too, you know what I'm saying? Like F, what brought me to F's channel was when him and his daughter were going to shops and talking about comics. And that's more than just comics to me. That's like you bring in your family and your daughter into it too,
And I have to throw this out. But Dab, I came on because you and I made a promise. But I know you have a lady in your life. But if there's a change in your life, let me just reach out to me. I have 2 daughters, so I'm just throwing this out. A very handsome young man, very sharp man. So anyway, just throwing that out.
I appreciate you, Dave. I appreciate it. I wouldn't have came on the show unless you kind of pushed me and said, Dab, I'm going to come on the show if you come on. And I was like,
there you go.
Dan just said that to me, so I had to come.
Okay.
I like seeing the younger generation like Dab, who's into comic books too. You know, it's in good hands. All of us, you know,
Yep.
comic book is in good hands. You know.
And Dad's perspective is what I hope all the youngsters' perspective is. You know, like very passionate, very warm person, very articulate, very very. He wants to interact with you too. You know, like Dad, bro, you got it all, man. Like I hope everybody. It's like, but I want to bring Swaggle on here one time, man. Swaggle, man, like you got to come on here, bro, and we'll all just be on here talking about gas together. You know
It's a gas show.
That's a selling point.
Because I think Swaggle's in, he's in Cali too, bro. So
I met Swag. I met Swag at Near Mint Sundays.
And Hype Man, you got to come on at the same time too, bro.
I was at a booth. I was looking. I looked on to my left. I go, God, I know this guy, but he was wearing a mask. I go, aren't you Swaggle House? It's a very nice guy, man. He took time. We were just talking, chatting about comic books. You know, he's an awesome guy too.
He's a sweet man. He just dropped a video. He got his first giant size X-Men
1.8. Yeah,
1.8. Yeah, damn. I'm jealous. I don't have that. I'm jealous as hell. But you know,
and I think I met Swaggle once, and I think I was a kind of an. I don't know what I was. I think I was a dickhead. So don't think I'm a dickhead, Swag. But I think he came into Angelo's booth, and I was like, I think that's Swag, but he looks seriously. He was looking through the books, right? And I didn't want to say, hey, you Swaggle, but because he was seriously looking at the books. Like you don't want to bug anybody when they're looking through the long boxes, right? So I said, hey, man, I'm going to scoot over, bro, so you can go through the rest of the books. So don't think I was a dick, bro. I just respecting your space, you know? Because, you know, when you're in there, bro, and you're looking for that number and someone interrupts you, you're like, bro, come on, man. Like,
you're focused. You're focused at that point. Yeah,
man. Yeah. You don't want to unfocus somebody, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, yo, Swag, for reals, man, like, try, jump on, man, next time. DM me or jump on the link, man. But that's the show for tonight, man. I want to thank you all for coming. I want to thank Rudy. I'm going to go through everybody. Rudy, I want to thank Hyper in the comments, man. Dan, James in the comments, man. That's the homie. Let me see who was here. Swag was here too, man. Where's Rob, bro? Rob's around here too. Rob was in the house, man. Rob was in the house. And an Entropy was in the house. And I think that's it, man. Everybody that said what's up. But I had a great time, man, with y'all, man. And remember, man, we do this show every 2 weeks. So the next one will be on the 22nd, and we got the Monday Night Comic Jive that happens on the 20th, man. But I'm Hoodrat, you're Hoodrat. We all Hoodrats, man. And we're out, man. Thanks, guys.
Peace.
Later.
Peace out.